The structure of Hollywood has long been defined by a combination of individual achievement and broader institutional dynamics, a balance that has increasingly come under scrutiny in recent years. This tension forms the basis of DL Hughley's critique of the industry's award culture, particularly in relation to Michael B. Jordan's career trajectory. Jordan's rise from his early performance in Fruitvale Station to leading roles in Creed and Black Panther reflects a progression that aligns closely with the expectations of the modern studio system. His public image has been characterized by consistency, discipline, and a deliberate avoidance of controversy, positioning him as a dependable figure within an industry that often rewards stability. This positioning is central to how his success is interpreted. Jordan's career has unfolded within a framework where visibility and acceptance are closely tied to maintaining a broadly accessible public persona. Unlike some of his contemporaries, he has not been associated with overtly political statements or actions that challenge institutional norms. This approach has contributed to his widespread appeal, but it has also shaped the conversation around what is required to reach the highest levels of recognition within the industry. DL Hughley's commentary introduces a different perspective on this progression, focusing on the conditions under which recognition is granted. His critique suggests that success at the highest level is not determined solely by performance or talent, but also by an individual's willingness to operate within established boundaries. In this view, the path to major awards is influenced by factors that extend beyond the work itself, including how individuals navigate public expectations and institutional relationships. This perspective is grounded in a broader historical context. The relationship between black actors and major award institutions has long been shaped by both milestones and limitations. While individual achievements have marked significant progress, they have often occurred within systems that remain uneven in terms of representation and decision-making power. Hughley's argument draws attention to this history, framing contemporary success within a pattern that extends across decades. Within this context, Michael B. Jordan's position represents both a continuation of progress and a point of debate. His recognition reflects a level of acceptance within the industry that has not always been accessible, yet it also raises questions about the terms on which that acceptance is granted. The balance between maintaining a widely accepted public image and addressing systemic issues remains a central tension in this discussion. At this stage, the narrative is not defined by a single event, but by the broader conditions that shape how success is achieved and interpreted. Hughley's critique does not challenge Jordan's accomplishments directly, but instead focuses on the environment in which those accomplishments are recognized. This distinction is important, as it shifts attention from individual performance to the structure of the industry itself. The situation therefore reflects a layered dynamic. On one level, it highlights the achievements of an actor who has reached a significant professional milestone. On another, it raises questions about the systems that determine how such milestones are awarded and what expectations. The discussion surrounding DL Hughley's critique became more focused following the events at the BAFTAs, where a moment during the ceremony drew significant attention. Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were on stage presenting an award when a member of the audience, identified as having Tourette's syndrome, shouted a racial slur directed at both actors. The incident was immediately noticeable within the venue and later became a central point of public discussion. The response to the situation was shaped in part by the production structure of the broadcast. The BAFTAs are recorded with a delay, providing an opportunity to edit content before it reaches viewers. Despite this, the slur was not removed from the final broadcast. This decision became a focal point of criticism, as it raised questions about editorial judgment and the responsibility of the broadcaster in managing sensitive material. The BBC later acknowledged the situation and expressed regret, but the fact that the moment was aired remained a significant aspect of the controversy. Within the context of the event, the reactions of those involved were also closely observed. Delroy Lindo later indicated that he would have expected some form of follow-up or acknowledgement from the organizers after the incident. Michael B. Jordan, by contrast, did not make a public statement addressing the moment. His response was characterized by maintaining composure during the event and continuing with his role as presenter without interruption. This contrast in response became part of the broader interpretation of the incident. For some observers, Jordan's decision not to address the situation publicly was seen as consistent with his established approach to maintaining a controlled public image. Others viewed the silence as notable, given the scale of his platform and the nature of the incident. The absence of a direct response allowed the event to be interpreted through different perspectives, contributing to the ongoing discussion. DL Hughley's critique draws directly from this moment, framing it as an example of how public figures are positioned within institutional settings. In his analysis, the incident and its aftermath are not isolated, but instead reflect a pattern. Hughley places this perspective within a historical context, referencing earlier figures whose achievements occurred alongside visible limitations. He draws comparisons to Hattie McDaniel, whose Oscar win took place within a segregated environment, and to Halle Berry, whose recognition was tied to roles defined by specific narratives. He also references Lupita Nyong'o, noting that her Oscar-winning performance was followed by a pattern of similar role offers. These examples are presented to illustrate a continuity in how success is both granted and shaped by the industry. At the same time, the critique highlights the issue of representation beyond on-screen performance. Hughley points to the absence of black directors receiving top honors over an extended period, even when prominent figures were nominated. This observation shifts the focus from individual actors to the broader decision-making structures that influence recognition. It suggests that while progress is visible in certain areas, it remains uneven across different levels of the industry. Within this framework, Jordan's position is interpreted as part of an ongoing balance between